guide map, and you can get the audio tour guide right here. This tour starts off with something awesome that you don't get with most attractions, and that is a chance to see it before you buy your tickets. This is a section of the underground that you'll visit during your tour. Keep in mind that the street level used to be down there instead of where it is currently. This site, along with some others in Rome, were actually discovered during renovations or construction projects. As you can see, buildings have just grown up around it, and everything is built up in this area. That used to be ground level down there, 20 feet below the current surface, but over time, it's gotten buried. Just around the corner from that open area is the ticket office / gift shop, giving everyone the opportunity to buy gifts whether or not they take the tour. If you use the audio guide during your tour and you turn that in at the end, you get 20% off of anything you would like in the gift shop. Bonus tip is make sure you leave enough time at the end of your trip to make any major purchases. Whether or not you purchase tickets, you can look down the hallway to the left there and you'll be able to see a couple of posters and things like that. Just kind of give you an idea of what the tour is going to be like. The tour is way better. As you're going to see once you get down there, there are a lot of artifacts and a lot of busts and a lot of other things the people of Rome used to have commonly. And this tour focuses on the history of some of the leaders in Rome, along with the construction of this particular structure and some general knowledge about the Roman Empire. Something else of importance to a lot of our viewers is once you get down the stairs, there's a cappuccino and snack machine, as well as some restrooms. Good place to grab a snack, get refreshed before you start your tour or along the way. And of course, the first stop on my tour was the coffee. They have coffee, they have restrooms just inside when you come down the stairs. They also do have a guest book in the hallway. We sign that Troyer's Travels, of course. Once you leave this area, you continue downward and start the audio tour. The tour area is maybe 30 to 40 meters across there to that far wall, and then it's maybe 100 meters or 150 meters from this wall to the far end. The far end is actually the area you were able to look down on from the street level before you started the tour. So we're inside taking the tour at the Stadio de Tiziano, and this is a really awesome archaeological site in Rome, and you can get a guide map, and you can get the audio tour guide right here. As you go through, there are numbers all over the place. Punch in the number on your audio guide, and you get to hear all about the particular artifacts or the things that are around you. While you're taking the tour, you can also check out the digital reconstruction they've done for the stadium and this part of Rome. You can also read through the posters and look at the pictures as the audio guide tells you about what's going on. The audio guides are available in several different languages. You just have to tell the person at the front desk which language you prefer. After seeing a few Colosseums, the one in Rome, the one in Verona, I did like seeing this one. It's fun that each entrance was numbered so that people knew where to go in. The audio tour said that they had a ticket in the form of a piece of stone or some other material, which told which gate they were permitted to enter. Once I realized the size of this structure, it was amazing to me how this and so many other buildings have been buried and lost through time. I've also heard from several places that buildings like this are one of the reasons why it's so hard to build anything in Rome, at least underground, because they're always coming across some artifact or building or something along those lines. This part of the tour did mention some of the emperors and some of the history of their families. It also talks about some of the events which were held in this arena and other arenas. It talks about the participants, what they wore, and tells about the games. Some of those games included the javelin throw, discus, boxing, using heavy-weighted gloves, the long jump, wrestling, and many more. So it's pretty wild. We came in over here, went down, looked at some steps right over here, past that statue, and the thing is, like, they had a bunch of steps all around, and they had different entrances in. Some were for spectators, some were for participants, and some were for dignitaries. And so just past that way would be where the stadium was, and a lot of the stadium, exterior and interior, covered by the plaza and stores and houses and things of that nature above us. So it's just amazing to look at these artifacts. I'm glad they were able to save these in the 1930s. They were going to come through and put a road through where the plaza is, and thankfully they didn't. They decided to keep that and then excavate around it, which led to this area right here being discovered and excavated.
We saw the outside a minute ago, and here's a look from the inside at what that preview is like. Just like us, many curious onlookers peer down into the depths of this previously beautiful building.
So here we are. It's amazing. We got the brickwork. It said that was meant to absorb shocks during earthquakes and things of that nature. You have the more beautiful stones above. This archway right here is pretty impressive. I like that a lot. And the cool thing is, it's an advertisement for this museum, because as you turn around here, you can see people walking by on the street can get a glimpse inside, see what it is that they're going to be able to check out on the inside of the museum here. A lot of artifacts, fun things laid out down here, and the audio tour that they give you really does a great job of walking you through, tells you step by step. There are posters and pictures with all kinds of helpful information as you go through. Right there behind me is the spot I was looking up from. Good advertisement.
This has many more things to discover, but it's a two-part tour. So then, once you're ready, you can head back upstairs to the gift shop, of course, and don't forget your discount. Then you can head down the street, close to the Trevi Fountain, is where part 2 of this tour continues. Here's a look at the Trevi Fountain. It was actually designed by Nicola Salvi, who submitted a design as part of a competition in 1732. It was completed 30 years later by Giuseppe Panini in 1762. Of course, that's only speaking to the facade, because the fountain itself dates back to ancient times. It's said that those who toss a coin into the fountain will someday return to Rome, and there were definitely plenty of people standing around testing that theory during our visit. All of us, including our friend Don, who visited from the United States, decided we'd try it out. Of course, you know from our other videos that we've been there before, but it didn't stop us from having a little bit of fun. Second part of our tour started here at this building. It also contains Harry's Bar and a nice little gift shop just at the entrance there. You can't bring food or drinks downstairs to actually visit the archaeological site, so they were nice enough to hold on to my cappuccino at the front desk. That front desk area is also where we got the audio guides. Go down the stairs and straight ahead is the bathroom, and then you also have the archaeological area on the same floor. There's plenty of seating as well on this level, so you're able to just sit down and kind of relax a little bit if you'd like. The archaeological area here is nowhere near as big as the other part of the walking tour. As you go in, you can see most of it. These are some of the waters which fill the Trevi Fountain.
And once again, you punch in the numbers, and you can hear all about it. Have fun. Watch your head as you come through. Over 6 feet, you might bump those pipes. We've got some beautiful water features on this part of the tour.
One thing we really liked about this was that they posted their social media information, so you're able to share your pictures there. And then of course you have the audio guide, QR code that you can scan, as well as some various drawings and maps of the area that you're going to be exploring. We like that this part of the tour is very well lit and beautiful. One thing we didn't like was, if you notice the walkways to the left there, and then also On the right hand side, there's one way down and one way back. So once you get to the end of that, reading the information and listening to your audio guide, you have to force your way back, sometimes through a crowd. Here's a look at the general area. At the bottom part there is an area of some artifacts. The top part has a conference room. And then as you go through, you're going to see different archaeological areas, walls and things of that nature, along with photographs and television screens showing you social media information, but also telling you about the various things which they found in this area. You'll also find several display cases with statues on this end, and it has the artwork which is displayed here along with some plaques telling about that.
The stairs down here behind me, according to the audio guide, contain several different types of marble. You have some that's really fancy from when it was converted to an estate, and some of these blocks have inscriptions in it with the maker's name, and you have some that are really old, so kind of a mix. And then right down there's some water again. A lot of cool things in here to discover. So when you take this part of the tour, there's a little bit of backtracking. So when you first enter, you come down here, go all the way back there, and then you have to come back. Then you go down these steps behind me, and then at some point you have to come back. And there's the main entrance right there.
As you go down the stairs, you're going to encounter a lot more artifacts. On your left hand side, there'll be a bunch of jars, and then straight ahead and to your right is where the main cache of artifacts are. The tour walks you through and of course gives you information about the general area, the time period which these artifacts were discovered, some of their uses, and even some of the stories associated with them. One of my favorite archaeological finds for this site was the giant pile of coins. That must have been a fun day for whoever found them. Because of their age and condition, it's hard for me to tell very many of them, but it looked like they had some really cool ones in there. I know a little bit about American coins, but not much about Roman coins. So if you are so inclined, you like Roman coins, you can look at this guide they have with some of the major coins and information about those. See which ones you can find in the case. They had many other really awesome things, so I hope you get a chance to check those out in person. But in the meantime, we hope you've enjoyed some of the highlights for both parts of this Roman underground tour.
Here we are, second half of our archaeological tour. This was really fun. It's underneath the Trevi Fountain, right in this region here. And so they have a smaller gift section here than they had at the other place. Nice enough to hang out over coffee while we checked it out. But yeah, this is a beautiful place. Thanks again for watching. Please check out my books at www.amazon.com/author/David H. Troyer. Check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/TroyersTravels. Have a great day. Remember that Jesus loves you, and we hope to see you in our travels. Colosseum in Rome. Right behind me, that's the area we were just in, checking out the archaeological dig, and you get these, you hit the button and you hit play, and you just listen like you would your telephone.
And it was made in the 30s. It's been curated down to the most minute detail, and realistically depicts the stadium apart from the short, linear side. We know so little about that particular section, and Gismondi decided to give it another section of steps. The longer sides have central balconies.
I found my doppelganger right here in Rome.